Army and recognize the proud traditions of selfless and heroic service the Army has provided to our nation. The hosts for today's ceremony are the Secretary of the Army, the Honorable Dan Driscoll, the Vice Chief of Staff of the Army, General Christopher Leniv, and Sergeant Major of the Army, Michael Weimer. Please stand for the singing of our national anthem by Staff Sergeant Matthew Burke from the United States Army Band, Pershing's Own, and the invocation delivered by Chaplain Brigadier General Jack Stumey, Army Deputy Chief of Chaplains.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please bow with me as I pray. Almighty and wonderful God, our strength and our peace, the one in whom we trust, we welcome you today as we celebrate 251 years of service. In our celebration, we are reminded of the many soldiers and their families who down through the ages have given so much on our behalf. Thank you for raising them up to give us a model of service and sacrifice to the nation. And now, Lord, we ask your blessing upon these warriors with us today who, through re-enlisting, are answering the call found in Isaiah of whom shall I send and who will go for us. Watch over them as they continue to live out Isaiah's reply, here am I, send me. Now, Father, thank you for our soldiers, families, and civilians who serve far and wide. Please strengthen them body, mind, and soul, and through this celebration, stir us in gratitude, renew our purpose, and remind us of who we are as soldiers, defenders of liberty. This I pray in your most holy name. Amen.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, General Leniv.
How's everybody doing? That was weak. How's everybody doing? Okay, that's a little better. That's good. Happy birthday. No. I know there's a lot of people, out live streaming this, and it's good to see everybody out here today, taking a couple minutes to recognize the incredible impact our Army has had on our country. So I'm going to talk about 45 minutes today. We'll do an intermission and then come back, and I'll hit my last 30, 40 minutes. So, I won't. So, good morning, Secretary Driscoll, sir, and team. Thank you for being all here. Thanks for joining us today for our birthday celebration and also, as important, a re-enlistment ceremony. I got to warn you all, last time I helped cut the cake was in Korea. I smashed the cake, it exploded, literally exploded. I have 2 dry cleaning bills later. My uniform still has cake in it. Everybody in the first 2 rows have cake all over them. I don't know what happened. We hit it too hard. We're going to try to do it again today. It'll be a splash zone, much like the comedian Gallagher had years ago. I'm going to try to tone it down a little bit, but we'll see. I want to begin by offering a very special welcome to the family and friends today of those that are reenlisting. Thanks for coming, and thanks for supporting your soldier. Our beautiful bride Kim is here in the front row. In our household, we believe the Army's birthday belongs to our families just as much as our soldiers. So thank you for joining our celebration today. You know, there's a celebratory tone here in our nation's capital as we prepare to commemorate the 250th birthday of our incredible nation, and rightfully so. The nation has been a beacon of democracy for the world, and our nation has constantly showed up in defense of democratic values throughout our history. For 251 years, every time this nation has to make good on its promises, it's been the United States Army on the ground, closing with the enemy. And here's how I see it. The United States Army is not one option among several. It's the deciding force in America's strategy. What land power does that no other form of military power can do is impose, sustain, and enforce order in physical space. An aircraft can destroy a target, a ship can deny a sea lane, but only a soldier can look a local population in the eye and credibly say, we're here, we're staying, and the future runs through us. Only a ground force can hold terrain, secure populations, disarm militias, protect humanitarian corridors, and create the conditions for whatever needs to come next. It's a privilege that the Army will always be 1 year older than our nation. That one extra year is a quiet reminder that the U.S. Army is the foundational force to the United States of America. And we will continue to serve and defend with that same level of enthusiasm and commitment with each passing year. While the Army has grown older, it's not grown stagnant. Under our Secretary, you've heard a lot about transformation, which makes sense because we're transforming at every single level. I need you to understand something about transforming in our Army, though. It's not change for change's sake. Transformation is an obligation to deliver on a promise to defend the American people. It's a contest over whether this Army, our Army, remains relevant in the next fight. And we cannot deliver on a promise to the American people without taking care of our soldiers. Because in a world of persistent rapid change, the central importance of the United States Army will always be our soldier. It's a constant. And speaking of soldiers, I'm particularly proud of reenlisting soldiers we have in this room today. And I'd like to speak to you all for a moment. And what an incredible honor it is for me to reenlist you. Ensuring that talented soldiers reenlist is part of our Army legacy. Reenlistments are a sign of trust, a covenant that we're entrusting the future of our Army to you. You're about to embark on another term of enlistment, and you know what the Army holds, and you're choosing to recommend and recommit to service. And that's a powerful statement, and we thank you for it. And as you enter in another term of enlistment, I'd ask you to pause and reflect on why you chose to serve in the first place. Reflect on your buddies and leaders who shaped you into the soldier you are today, and even take time to consider the soldier you still hope to be. Because just like the Army, we, the men and women in the uniform of the cloth of our nation, should strive to transform in the best possible soldiers for our families, our Army, and our nation. As the nation celebrates our 250 year, remember, our Declaration of Independence didn't win a thing. What actually turned those words into a nation were soldiers. Ordinary farmers and tradesmen who picked up muskets, risking their lives on the battlefields in the frozen mud at Trenton and Valley Forge. That Continental Army created this republic, and I'll celebrate that every time this week comes around. God bless our Army. God bless the soldiers that make up our Army and the families that support them. Happy birthday today. This we will defend.
Thank you, General Leniv. Ladies and gentlemen, Secretary Driscoll.
Good morning. We are here to celebrate the United States Army's 251st birthday. And I want everyone to pause and reflect on where exactly we're conducting this ceremony and why it is so very symbolic. We are cutting the cake right here in the Pentagon, the house that the United States Army built, and now home to all the services. This building is a physical manifestation of how the Army steps up every single time our nation calls, and how our Army will always solve the nation's greatest challenges. The Army built this insanely large structure in just 16 months, employing 1,000 architects and 14,000 tradesmen working 24 hours a day, 3 shifts for the entire time. It has been the world's largest low-rise building for over 80 years. Consider what we accomplished during those exact same 491 days that the building was being built, from September 11th, 1941 to January 15th, 1943. While workers were pouring concrete right here in Virginia, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. And the U.S. Army immediately stood up a multi-front war across the entire globe. While the Pentagon's outer rings were being framed, the Army surged from a strength of 1.46 million to roughly 5.3 million soldiers. And just as the architects designed the Pentagon's interior courtyard, the Army went on the offensive in November 1942 with Operation Torch in North Africa. With zero prior experience in modern amphibious warfare, the U.S. Army executed 9 separate landings simultaneously. The Army established the blueprint for every large-scale invasion that followed. But the miracle of this 16-month window wasn't just found on the battlefields or in the concrete. At the same time, the Army was unleashing strategic weapons with breakthrough technology. In June 1942, right in the middle of our Pentagon timeline, the Army officially stood up the Manhattan Engineer District. We spearheaded the Manhattan Project, coordinating and housing a nationwide scientific powerhouse. The Army built secret cities, it managed the world's top scientists, and it unlocked the power of the atom. The Army's efforts made theoretical physics a reality and fundamentally and forever changed the world. But we didn't conquer on land and in science. But we didn't just conquer on land and in science. We achieved air supremacy and built the world's largest ship fleet. During this exact same 16-month stretch, the U.S. Army Air Forces underwent the most explosive expansion in aviation history. The Army poured billions of dollars into manufacturing tens of thousands of combat aircraft, cleared hundreds of new flight lines, and trained legions of pilots and crew. The modern United States Air Force and the airline industry were born directly out of the ingenuity, the logistics, and the uniform of the United States Army. And by the end of the war, the Army operated 120,000 watercraft, the largest fleet in the world by hull count. Think of the sheer scope and scale of what the Army accomplished across land, sea, and air in such a short time. But we didn't do it alone. We did it by forging an unbreakable partnership with American industry. We did it by turning the full weight of the American economy into the arsenal of democracy. But most importantly, we did it because when the nation faced an impossible task, it turned to the United States Army. Being prepared to answer that call is our sacred duty. Our nation will call upon the Army once again to do the impossible. And we must be ready all the way from the foxhole to the factory floor. Our soldiers must be able to deploy to combat and not just survive the modern battlefield, but they must be able to dominate it. So we are cutting the red tape, pushing technology to the edge, and getting soldiers exactly what they need to win. Our logistics enterprise must be able to sustain the fight. So we are hardening our supply chains, ensuring that we can repair and resupply faster than any adversary. And our defense production must ensure that overwhelming our soldiers through mass is never, ever an option. So we are revitalizing our organic industrial base and partnering with the very best of American industry and tech. We're opening doors to the private sector, innovation in a way that will unlock our nation's unstoppable potential. And together, we will again be ready to answer our nation's call. I challenge anyone to identify in their 20, 30, or 40 or more years of service where they have seen such fundamental, so positive, and such focused velocity and change. It simply hasn't happened since our Army predecessors raised this building from the Virginia dirt. And all of you in this room are making sure that when our nation calls, we can once again do the impossible. We turned 251 years old this year, but we are not looking back. We are looking forward because we are just getting started. And nothing proves that more than the 31 soldiers who will re-enlist today with Vice. Your decision to raise your right hand again is a commitment to the person standing to your left and to your right. It is a commitment to defend our nation. You are the living continuation of the legacy that we celebrate today. You are the future of our Army, and our future with you is incredibly bright. Thank you so much for being here, and let's all maintain the momentum as we attack year 252. This will defend.
Thank you, Secretary Driscoll.
For 251 years, we've answered the nation's call. From the fields of Yorktown to the sands of the Middle East, our legacy was forged in the crucible of conflict. But that legacy is not just our history. It is the foundation upon which we will build our future.
Driven by the sheer grit and uncompromising willingness to fight of the American soldier, we master the art of warfighting. We deliver ready combat formations, lethal, agile, and prepared for any domain.
Our warfighters are always ready to fight tonight, while continuously transforming for tomorrow's battlefields across the globe. We sustain this overmatch by strengthening the profession of arms, forging leaders bound by trust. When called upon, we will fight, and we will win.
This will defend.
Ladies and gentlemen, General Leniv will join on stage to re-enlist soldiers from all components of the Army. Joining General Leniv today are soldiers from the National Capital Region. For those in attendance, please remain seated during the oath of enlistment. Ladies and gentlemen, General Leniv.
Okay, first off, thank you. Thanks for committing again. We're proud to have you on the team. God bless you all. So with that, raise your right hand. I state your full name. I state your full name. Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend. That I will support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. Foreign and domestic. And that I will bear true faith. That I will bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. And allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders. And I will obey the orders. Of the President of the United States. Of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to the regulations. According to the regulations. And the Uniform Code. And the Uniform Code. Of military justice. Of military justice. So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations. And this is why your Army is always ready to kick anybody's ass, right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, soldiers from the Army Executive Dining Facility are moving the Army birthday cake into position. The cake was prepared by the non-commissioned officers and soldiers assigned to the Army Executive Dining Facility. Secretary Driscoll, General Leniv, and Sergeant Major Weimer, please take your positions for the cake cutting. To commemorate 251 years of service to the nation, joining them is the youngest soldier, Private First Class Elijah Leach from the 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, and the oldest soldier, Master Sergeant Jiao Lu from the United States Army Band. Ladies and gentlemen, please join Sergeant Burke in singing Happy Birthday to the U.S. Army.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, U.S. Army. Happy birthday to you.
At this time, Sergeant Caden Cheadle from the 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, will present the sword to the Sergeant Major of the Army.
I want everybody to know, this was made with protein powder.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official party will cut the Army birthday cake to commemorate 251 years of service to the nation. Participants, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, cut the cake. Thank you, cake cutting participants. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join in the singing of the Army song. The words to the Army song can be found in your program.
March along, sing a song with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. Then it's hi, hi, hey, the army's on its way. Count off the cadence loud and strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along.
This concludes today's ceremony. The Army Executive Dining Facility will hand out pieces of the cake outside of the auditorium in the hallway. Thank you, and happy birthday, Army. The re-enlistees will now have a group photo with the official party on stage, followed by a receiving line on the floor.